Hello, welcome again. So, today we are going to start the next topic of the ongoing chapter of circulation of the class 11 human physiology. We will continue from the blood grouping in this chapter, and later aspects we will continue with the human circulatory system that will consist of the human heart. Okay, so get ready for the thrills, and today you will get very interesting topics and very interesting facts about the human circulatory system, about the heart, the धड़कन जो जिसको हम बोलते हैं. Let's start. Okay, so today we will start from blood grouping. Blood grouping. So how many types of blood group you know? There are probably 4 types of blood group in the NCERT. That is A, B, AB and O. But we know there are more different types of blood group. That is a Bombay blood group. There is a very rare blood group, and the database of these people having the Bombay blood group is being there in every blood bank of the government of that state, because in a rare cases if the blood transfusion of the Bombay blood group patients requires, then the contact details of the same group people must be contacted by the blood bank, because it is a very rarest group. So in case of blood group, we know there are 2 charges, that is called the positive and the negative. Some of you have A positive, some of you have A negative, some of you have B positive, B negative. So let's start with the grouping. Okay, so there is 2 type of grouping. There is 2 type of grouping. Okay, one is ABO grouping and another is RH grouping. So have you seen any blood bag? Have you seen any blood bag containing blood? Blood bag contains 350 ml of RBC, which have a lifespan of 60 days inside the blood bag. So in human body, RBC contains having a lifespan of 120 days, but when it is stored in the blood bag, it has a lifespan of only 60 days. So in a blood bag, it contains 350 ml of RBC. Okay. So now in ABO blood group system, ABO blood grouping, come to ABO blood grouping. ABO blood grouping. It contains several key concepts. So what are the key concepts of the ABO blood grouping? Antigens are there. Antigens. Antigens, what is antigens? Antibody generating substance. Antibody generating substance are called antigen. Okay. So in RBC, let it be an RBC. Okay, in RBC, surface antigen, this is RBC. Okay, now the surface antigen on the plasma membrane. So RBC, it does not have any nucleus, but it has a surface antigen on the plasma membrane. On the plasma membrane. Okay. Now this antigen is called the glycoprotein. So this antigen is made up of glycoprotein. Glycoprotein means it contains a glucose particle and also a protein particle. So this antigen contains glycoprotein. Okay, these antigen are called glycoprotein. So surface antigens are, what is the surface antigen? They are the self antigen. Surface antigen are self antigen. Okay, surface antigen are self antigen. We usually don't form antibody for our antigen. Okay, we usually do not form antibody for self antigen, and if by chance we form antibody for our self antigen, then that disease is known as the autoimmune disease. Okay, I will give a brief idea of the autoimmune disease in the later part. Okay, now in blood group, antigen on RBC, antigen on plasma, antigen on plasma, and the donor. Okay, now the blood group, let the blood group is A, so antigen on the RBC is A antigen, so blood group on the B, anti-B. So blood group on the plasma is anti-B. Okay, anti-B, antibody against B, antibody against B. That means if I put mismatch transfusion, so that is if I give a blood group of B positive to a positive patient, then the patient will die. Okay, donor can be A and O. So come to the next blood group, B. Antigen on RBC, B antigen. Antigen on plasma, anti-A. Antibody against A. Antibody against A. So next blood group, AB. AB have both antigen, A and B present. No antibody. It contains no antibody. So blood to AB can be given by AB and O. It is called the universal recipient. Okay, now comes to the next blood group as O. No antigen. O has no antigen. Antibody is anti-A and anti-B. Only O can give the blood. So what do you think? That the O positive is a universal donor or O negative is a universal donor? O negative is the universal donor, not the O positive, because in the Rh factor, if we give a patient of B positive with a blood of B negative, then no transfusion error will happen. Okay, but if we give a O negative patient a blood of O positive, transfusion error will happen because of the Rh antigen. Okay, there is another type of antigen called the Rh antigen. The Rh antigen is called the rhesus antigen. The rhesus antigen came from the from a monkey known as the rhesus monkey. Okay. Okay, now come to the next concept of donor and recipient. What is the concept of donor and recipient? What is the concept between the donor and the recipient? What is the concept? So concept is, let the donor, it is donor and this is recipient. Okay, this is the donor and this is the recipient. Okay, always check antigen. Donor always check for antigen, recipient always check for antibody. Always check for antibody. Okay, now remember this cross match. Let it be the donor and R is the recipient. Okay, A, let the blood group be A, the recipient is A, so it contains anti B. Now here antigen, in the donor antigen is A, so it cannot give B because it has anti B, sorry, anti A. It has anti A. It cannot give, it can give to AB because no antibody is present. AB has no antibody present in its plasma. Okay, so here on the next we give blood to O. Here both the antibody is present of anti A and B, so anti A and anti B, so O positive cannot take the blood from A positive. Have we got a clear concept? It's a very basic concept. Okay, so donor and the recipient always check, donor check for the antigen and the recipient check for the antibody. Okay, now what should we? Should not match. Should not match. If it matches, clumping occurs. Clumping means the solidifies, the blood solidifies. যেটাকে বাংলায় আমরা বলে থাকি থকথকে হয়ে যায়। থকথকে হয়ে যায় মানে সেখানে ক্লটিং হয়েছে। ক্লটিং হয়েছে মানে সেটা মারা যাবে সেই পেশেন্ট। ওকে, if it matches, then clumping occurs. If it matches, clumping occurs. Now we come to take it as a note. I have also said before, AB is universal recipient, O is universal donor. Precisely you can say AB negative, sorry, AB positive is a universal recipient and O negative is the universal donor. This line you will not find in any book. If NTA tries to make the question paper tough and to segregate the candidates into prelims and mains, because there is a chance of 2 phases of examination from this year, there is a chance. So if NTA tries to segregate the candidate, this type of question can come in the prelims, okay, to reduce the number of aspirants in the mains. Okay, so what you study in depth. Okay, so now we come to the next part as RH grouping, that is the research grouping. Okay. RH grouping, this is a very important part. RH grouping, that is RH factor, that is the rhesus factor. Here I will say some facts which most of the YouTubers, most of the teachers will not say, because these facts are known by the doctors, not by the YouTubers and not by the teachers. Okay, now just like A and B antigen, just like A and B antigen, RBC may also have another surface antigen called Rh antigen. This is the most crucial part. Okay, so Rh antigen, be it the RBC. Let me draw RBC. Let it be RBC. Okay. Let it be an RBC. RBC. Okay. Now it contains two antigen. One is Rh antigen present. Rh antigen present. And two is Rh antigen absent. Okay. Now this is RBC, this is also RBC. Okay, what happens next? It has Rh antigen. Okay, and so it is called Rh positive. It doesn't have Rh antigen. Rh antigen absent. So Rh negative. Okay. Now what happens? Rh positive is 80% in population. So what happens? Rh factor was named as its factor found in rhesus monkey discovered for the first time. Rhesus monkey discovered for the first time. It was being discovered from a monkey for the first time. Okay, now we come to the next part as make a chart. Okay, make a chart. Make a chart. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now this is the Rh and this is A antigen. Okay, now what happens? This is Rh. It is positive, A positive, because A antigen is present. this is A positive. RBC, A antigen is now absent, RH absent, so it is A negative. RH present, and this is B antigen, so it is B positive. RH absent, but B antigen is present. RH abs, so it is B negative. Here's B negative. Now this comes to an RBC. It comes to AB positive, and if RH absent, this is no antibody, but antigen A and B present. RH absent, so AB negative. Now comes to present antigen absent, anti A anti B present. O positive, and in the next no antigen is present, no antigen is present. Here no antigen present, it is O negative. So here we come to a next explanation. We can say that in person 1, RBC, it contains antigen anti-RH factor. So in RH negative, these are not present. From the starting unlike ABO, okay, and the person 1 will develop anti-RH only when exposed to RH antigen. So what happens if a father of RH positive gives a baby with the mother of RH negative? Then in the second case, in the second baby, a problem comes known as erythroblastosis fetalis, where it is also called a neonatal jaundice. To avoid this complication, we use the injection called Rogam after the first delivery of the child, because there is a chance of contamination of maternal blood with the fetal blood. In case of the second delivery, the maternal blood will start to develop antibody against the fetus, and thus what happens, it will destroy the fetal RBC, and ultimately the child can get neonatal jaundice, or even the child can expire. So to avoid this complication, we generally use injection called Rogam, so that the formation of the antibody after the first delivery doesn't happen. Okay, the injection is called ROGAM. Okay, so note, RH should be matched before every blood transfusion. So did you get what I have said? So I'll make a short video on erythroblastosis fetalis in the upcoming day, or maybe probably today I will give a short video on erythroblastosis fetalis, which will be very much beneficial because it is a short topic and it must be read in a few minutes. Okay, nothing more question will come from erythroblastosis fetalis. So till then, just understand this, and please subscribe this channel and share it with your friends and underprivileged, those who are underprivileged maximum, who cannot afford online coaching and offline coaching. So it will be much beneficial for them too. Thank you.